sad about it. So sad about it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the second-year man Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills as they match up with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. As mentioned, we are on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. It's sold out Heinz Field in the Steel City. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City. And a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set. We're set as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Bills being led out by their quarterback, the 7th overall pick in the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen. Of course, the Bills, they've been looking for a franchise quarterback for a number of years, and now they think they have their guy. He certainly had his moments as a rookie, including an impressive win in Minnesota in his second NFL start. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They run with a former Jaguar. It's T.J. Yeldon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Here's a guy coming off a strong rookie season, Gus Edwards. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On second down, here's Yeldon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. Beasley signed with the Bills in March just before his 30th birthday after 7 years with the Cowboys, hoping that he can be a very valuable slot receiver in Buffalo. Just under 700 yards last year and 3 touchdowns in Dallas. A first down carry now for Yeldon. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
They'll try the right side here with Yeldon. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time
pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the grab by Croft. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 81 yards.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes, stretched, dreamed, going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch everyone thrown today.
You're right. They have struggled 32 of 32 in that category.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. T.J. Yeldon with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Steelers under longtime head coach Mike Tomlin. They will be led out by their 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. Now in his 16th season, the veteran Ben Roethlisberger.
To be considered for the MVP award in the NFL, it's got to be a season of not just consistency, but spectacular consistency, and he's had it all the way through.
I think you're right. He's been as consistent, more consistent probably than anybody else as the numbers bear out. And the social media chatter for the MVP race is certainly starting to ramp up. I know you and I have felt that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, he's in the pole position as we head down the stretch.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. And that's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. On second down, Samuels. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's where they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Call that a very strong gain of 24. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory, right at the 40. On first down, it's Samuels. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Maurkice Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's a keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
53, Mike. Man, I got you. Alert.
From the 36, Roethlisberger. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start out on the ground as TJ Yeldon. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On second down and 4. Allen looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
On 2nd and 7, Allen. That one complete to Yeldon.
I'm going to hit you.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make...
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Samuels. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. On the defensive side, this is the starting lineup for the Bills. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 16. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They'll run on first down. Samuels, and he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On the carry, it's Samuels. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now T.J. Yeldon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Let him know.
Here's Allen to throw it. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
SOS. Why they
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Mike. He can't hang.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver, that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. On 1st down, Samuels, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
That's the end of the first quarter.
After one, 17-7 is our score. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check 15.
They'll run with Samuels. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Go.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Good one, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, Allen toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. They'll start the drive with Samuels, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger will throw. Open man is Switzer complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Well, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Draw play. This is Yeldon. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. They'll run with Yeldon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Bills on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. On play action, Allen. And that will be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Running to start the drive is Samuels. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Watch 5. Check 53. It's been a long day for you. Watch safety 3. Watch safety 3, man.
They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Bring it. Shift. Alert.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage and then get on top of you in a heartbeat.
It's just me and you. It's just
alert.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Samuels. Maurice Alexander making the stop defensively.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
check.
On 2nd down, Samuels. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 47-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the run, it's Yeldon. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Allen. And he finds Beasley complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Here's Allen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, but it's going to be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And here's Allen throwing again, and incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for, and that'll make it third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air. Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And again, it's Allen. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Edwards. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's 1 catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Boswell for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
TJ Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. And the numbers for him, pretty solid, really. He's run it well. He's caught it pretty well, but they're still far behind the 8-ball on the scoreboard.
Not able to use his talents, as you noted, to narrow the gap in the scoreboard. Sometimes it's a bend but don't break, right? He gets his yardage, that's cool, but it's not paying off on the scoreboard. They're not getting the points necessary. And if you're a defensive team, you'll give up that yardage for the kind of lead they have.
That's what I was going to ask you. Sometimes you say, let this guy do his thing. Let's control what we can control elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Take away the rest of the guys. Don't let them hurt you as well. But the biggest one is they've contained him well enough that they've been able to increase their lead.
7 yards there and a first down. On first down, Allen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Allen to try again after the pick 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. This is Yeldon. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. All right, let's shift our attention here to Vance McDonald. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start up at Paul Brown Stadium. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on Cincinnati. And it's the Patriots with the lead in that one. Philip Dorsett, a touchdown reception. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Samuels, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. 23 yards the pickup there. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 36. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Samuels again. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Samuels, and not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the handoff, it's Samuels. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Lorenzo Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Allen. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Bills send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Mike 53. Come on. You better bring it.
Staying on the ground with Samuels. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
They're running it. He's coming.
Toss play for Samuels. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 37.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Let's go one more.
On 2nd down, it's Snell. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Boswell's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Looking deep downfield. They've got his man complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 32 on the play. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the grab by Croft. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They run it from the gun with Yeldon. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Check! Check 55 to Mike. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
They'll flip this quickly out to Beasley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Edwards. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Now it's Yeldon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. They'll run here with Edwards. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills get a bit closer.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Hauschka with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, we're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Roethlisberger will throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
We got this.
TJ Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Yeldon. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And that's complete to Croft. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Allen's throw is complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Allen finds Croft as tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Allen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. They go with a screen. It's Yeldon. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Yeldon was always reliable out of the backfield for Blake Bortles, and now he has a chance to help out another young quarterback in the same way in Josh Allen. But you look at the numbers a season ago, 55 catches, almost 500 yards. Very sure hands for a running back. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw, it's Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Allen now to throw again. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. In there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going.
And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills cut into that lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. They'll hand it off now to Samuels. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. On first down, Samuels. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Get ready, get ready.
Throwing now is Allen. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
We play to win. Let's go.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Allen again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Sean Davis with a pick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Now Allen to throw. Throwing after the interception. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 22 yards there, a first down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Allen. It's complete to Jones. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Check 55 to Mike. We ain't giving up nothing. 5 boys, we go.
On 3rd down, Yeldon. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Take him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. On 1st down, it's Samuels. Lorenzo Alexander brings him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Roethlisberger, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, it's Allen. He goes underneath for Yeldon. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The pass to Brown as he holds it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun handoff now to Yeldon. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He gets it to Brown, complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
To the air, Allen. Short throw hauled in by Croft. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and then angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll run on first down. Samuels. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 9-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll keep it on the ground. Samuels, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter, in the zone, the ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Trying to get it with Snell. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On the carry, it's Samuels. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 25-yard line.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Steelers, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.